Good. You too?
Yeah, fine, thanks.
All right, thank you.
You've gone all blurry.
Who?
You went all blurry.
Oh,
That's one of the things that I found difficult is the internet connection. The internet connection at home, where I'm right up the top, the internet's all the way down the bottom, and my connection always drops out. And
yeah.
also on my phone, because I do Wi-Fi calling on the phone, I always losing people. So,
Yeah, I find it hard if someone else is in the house on the internet. If they're doing something, especially if they're like downloading documents or what have you, like mine automatically just cuts off. It's really
you
annoying.
say other people, you only live with Bruce. Okay.
Yeah, well, all right, sorry. It's Bruce. Like, no, I've got like 6 people here, joke. Yeah,
Really?
just, yeah,
You got a HMO license?
yeah, just put the place on Airbnb, to get company through COVID. Bruce is boring, so no.
Is he there,
No.
or is he away, or?
He's actually in the office today, but this is the first time since lockdown 2.0, so it's quite quiet, which is nice. So I get to talk to you two instead. So, but I have had calls like this where we've had teams with clients on the video, and he's just like walked through in his like pajamas basically. So that's embarrassing.
I think that's part of the course now, isn't
I know,
it?
you just have to subtly move the screen, like, oh, sorry.
There's that famous one, isn't there, with the South Korean correspondent or something. The kids come running in the corner.
Oh God, yeah. And then the mother goes and grabs them, like, no.
But I think everyone expects that now. Like people don't go, oh, that's a bit weird. No, it's just part of the course, I think, now.
Yeah.
100%. I've had a cat walking across the desk in front of the camera on a client call. Not my cat, one of theirs.
I was going to say, I didn't think you had
I don't have cats. Don't like cats, as you both know. But I just have lots of children running in and out, grabbing staplers, as just happened before you joined our call, Catherine.
Nice and safe. They always get the safe things, don't they? Not the pens or anything like that. They're like, oh, something I can actually injure myself on. Thanks.
Yeah, true story.
Yeah. How are
Ray
you?
at home, Laura.
Pardon?
Ray at home as well.
Yeah, Ray's at home all of the time now. He won't be in the office at all, really. Just they've changed up how they deal with things, which is all right. We've got a really decent internet connection, so I'm not experienced these sorts of issues that you've had with downloading documents and stuff, which has been nice. And now that we know we're here kind of more permanently, we've set ourselves up with dual screens, nice chairs, so
yeah,
it's less of a burden working from home than it was.
Yeah. Where are you set up, Ollie?
Yeah, well, we had the loft extension done in the summer. So I've now got a nice shiny new office, which is great. It's nice and quiet. It's nice and bright as well.
That's good timing.
Yeah, it was. Well, we had planned to do it before Arthur arrived. And yeah, obviously lockdown then happened, and we were like, oh dear, we don't think it's going to happen. But they did a good job. They managed to squeeze it all in. So yeah, I've got a nice new office, a nice big desk. I'm not sure the £200 allowance will cover all the stuff that I bought.
Cover the loft extension, bloody hell. Who's going to do it?
I don't know if I can get a special dispensation or not, but
try.
That's right. I'll provide him with the copy of the invoice and we can go.
Yeah, I'm in the living room, and Bruce is upstairs, so it's a good space. It's like a separate space, which is nice. But when it first started, he was downstairs and I was on the couch for like 3 weeks because we hadn't cleared out our spare room. But we've sorted that now. But I think that was quite key to settling into working from home, is working out what space in your house is best to put everything.
Yeah. We moved during lockdown. Our last house, we couldn't have done it. We had one of us at the kitchen table, and at that time the kids were at home, so they needed to eat from there as well. And one of us upstairs on the bed, which was just a disaster. A disaster. But now we've moved and we've got a separate study which is big enough for us both. So happy days.
So you work side by side?
Back to back. Yeah. So he's when he's in here, he's behind me. He didn't fancy a cameo. Exactly. I know. I was rudeness.
He's teaching though, isn't he?
He is teaching. Yeah, he's teaching. Yeah, I think he's on phonics and maths this morning, and I've got to pick up PE later this afternoon, which is fine by me.
Have you got your weights? You're like, come on, kid.
Yeah, Ollie, I ordered myself a big set of dumbbells for the garage. One that when the gym's closed for a second time, I said, right, enough's enough. So they've arrived. So Ben and I go out there and we do a Joe Wicks workout, as is, lockdown tradition, which is fun.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, you have to take the good with the bad in this situation, don't you? I think doing exercise is key, and like going out for walks at lunchtime and stuff like that, and not just being sat at the desk for like 10-12 hours a day.
But it's so easy to forget. It's so easy to forget, especially when we're busy, as we all are, that we'll start work before 8 usually, and then just plough through, and the only cardio or exercise you get is the distance between your office space and the fridge and back again.
Mine is right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally.
You have to make a conscious effort, and it's harder and less appealing now that it's winter.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, you can't really do anything after 5:30. Like, you can't go out for a run after 5:30. So it's just trying to detach yourself at lunchtime is key.
Yeah, you're right. 100%.
Last couple of months, because Arthur's had a bit of a cold, so we've had a rough couple of nights. And Monday morning I woke up and I was like, I'm not in the mood for this. So I just went for a walk around the block, and that kind of livened me up. And I've been doing that for the last couple of mornings. Just
in the morning. That's yeah.
Yeah, because it's nice and it's cold and it's been dry. So I've just been going for a block, just to liven me up and get a bit of fresh air. And it does. I mean, it's amazing, like the effect that it has. It really does do wonders for you. It does perk you up for sure.
Yeah.
If you think about it, we'd normally have a commute, wouldn't we? So you normally have that just like detachment from home and work where you can sort of get into work mode. But with this, it's not. You just roll out of bed. Well, I do. Roll out of bed normally. So I think that's a really good idea, actually, just going for like a quick walk in the morning just to wake yourself up and get into that mode.
Yeah.
I think that's been one of the biggest, like for me, that's been one of the biggest problems where we've reached now, because obviously we're back in lockdown, is the fact that there is no detachment from home life and work life. Like it's walking up the stairs basically, and you can still hear everything going on downstairs in the distance. And you're like, oh, should I go and help? Should I go and do this? So if one of the children is crying or shouting, you're like, oh,
yeah,
I can hear it. I can hear Arthur now actually. Should I go down and help? Because like Francis is on her own, like with two small children. Do I go and do that? And then like, there's just no sort of distinction between work life and home life. And for me, that's been the biggest problem.
And also no variety. Like we used to break our weeks up with trips to see clients, client meetings, face-to-face interactions, which we don't have anymore. I'm really missing lunches. I'm sure you both are as well. Just the sort of the fun interactions. It's quite focused concentration, the work we do nowadays, with nothing breaking it up.
No, I was talking to Nicole about that yesterday. It just feels a bit more monotonous, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you work and then you go. And whereas normally, yeah, you're right, especially at this time of year, we would have seen clients. It gives you that bit extra boost, I think.
Yeah.
When you have that rapport with them and you've just seen them, it just gives you that bit extra boost. And you always find you get sort of new work coming out of it normally as well. There's always a sort of like an initial flurry afterwards, isn't there? So it is really sad that we can't do that.
But it's really important and good that we're making time for these sorts of calls, though, because like this helps to bridge that gap in some small way.
Yeah, I think like what is it? A problem shared is a problem halved, or something like that.
Yeah, it's so true. Though. You can get so worked up just on your own in the computer all day, and obviously you've got family, but they don't really understand in the same way, do they? But I find myself just getting really worked up. Email traffic really consistently. My phone's already gone off like 4 times since we've had this, and you just feel like inundated. Whereas normally you could just turn to someone and go, "Arr!" and you just can't now in the same way.
Yeah, it's true. I signed on this morning, and I was like, "Oh my god, what has happened?" It's just so English.
I got that yesterday. I was like, "Has the world ended in 12 hours?" or something. Everyone suddenly wants to complete. But I think you're right. When you're around people, the stress it doesn't get as so I don't know what the word is. It's just not, you can just kind of
Doesn't
use it. Yeah, it doesn't build up the same. So,
I know that some people, I've heard that some firms, but it probably works in smaller departments, whereby they have like, they've got this almost like Teams, but it's like just constantly running in the background. So like you can see everyone, you can see what everyone's up to, like to obviously from the computer, and like you can talk to people, and like you can do that almost like you're in a sort of an office environment.
I saw that actually. I think I saw that on the news. Somebody had created some sort of interface whereby if you were going to get a coffee, all of your colleagues could see that you were getting a coffee, and you could like have a side chat with them, like MSN Messenger used to be, whilst they were getting their coffee. And they thought on the news that was the way forward.
Yeah,
who knows? Certainly take fewer coffee breaks if everyone knows how often I'm going to the fridge.
I know, yeah. It's probably a good thing if I drank less coffee, to be honest.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I've heavily invested in my coffee. In coffee. I bought all sorts, like grinders, beans, like so I can have a nice coffee.
Takeaway point: Ollie's on Grindr. Good stuff. I have to edit that out.
Yeah, we've got Costa. That looked like wine, Laura. When that first came out, it looked like wine. I was like,
yes, it's not even 12.
No, Costa are delivering coffee on an app. I just literally have to press 2 buttons and my order's there. It's so naughty. I need to stop it. It's actually easier than when I'm in the office. So, oops.
Does it come really hot?
Yeah, I don't know what they do to it, but yeah.
Oh, well, actual coffee, not pods or anything. They'll pop round to your door with a coffee.
Yeah, so I think they make it. There's a Costa in the Tesco's, which is literally 2 minutes from my house.
That's amazing.
Delivers it with a cookie or a croissant, depending on the time of the day.
Wow.
So you're offsetting your fees then.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm saving nothing. Never mind.
How do they imagine cycling along with a coffee on your back?
No, I don't think so. I'm sure he has more than one person because it takes like an hour, so I'm sure they get like a load of people in one route and then they do it. But yeah, he knows me by my first name, and he knows Pablo.
That's it. I think all the delivery guys, that's the trouble, isn't it? Because everything gets delivered now because we're not going to the high street and stuff. All the delivery guys seem to know all.
I know. Anyway, should we talk about like benefits of working from home? I think we've probably talked about all the issues. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you not got any then?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't want to be like, oh. Yeah, so the things for me is that if you do work late, it is nice to then just literally turn off the computer and be at home. Like my commute wasn't particularly horrendous, but it was an hour door to door, so it is nice. I feel like I'm using time definitely more efficiently for that reason. I can get up later and I can leave, and then when I've finished, I'm just at home done and can start like doing whatever I need to do. So hopefully out of this, when we do all go back to the office, there will still be flexibility. That's what I would want. To be able to work from home. Do you think so?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've spoken to Richard about it in the past about it, and I think they're up for doing it.
Yeah, I think it, especially if you've got a really big task where you just need to focus on it. As long as you can do it from home in terms of the screens, if there's lots of documents, it's nice just to be able to like really focus on it and not get distracted. I mean, obviously the phone will ring and emails will go, but you can ignore them. Whereas if someone's in the office with you, you kind of get a bit more distracted, don't you? So I think it's really good for that. So being able to focus, and it does help with time management as well, for sure. And I'm definitely recording more hours when I'm at home.
Well, you've got that flexibility, haven't you, to work. So I mean, obviously, probably similar for you, Laura, is that the day is kind of broken up, so I won't. The morning is spent sort of getting the boys ready and helping Francis, and doing that. So I generally won't sign on until, 8:30, 9 o'clock, something like that, and then I'll fly on through, and then I'll probably stop at about 6 o'clock to help do bath time and bedtime, and then I'll sign on again at sort of after dinner time for half an hour, just to tidy things up. you've got that huge flexibility, which means that I'm spending more time with the family and the boys, because ordinarily I would be at work all day. I'd be at the office, so I wouldn't be seeing them grow up. So I mean, that's been a huge benefit. Is obviously I'm just much more a part of their lives, which is lovely for me and hopefully for them. So yeah, that's what you do. You're flicking about with the lights.
Me?
Yeah.
My screensaver just came on my computer and I moved my mouse.
Okay.
You're like, this filter, no this one, no this one.
No, Ellen's stressing about something. She wants me to call her. Sorry.
Are you okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, so I mean that's probably the same for you, Laura. But I think in the first lockdown and probably now, in terms of the fact that you actually had to be a teacher, we haven't got that trouble to add to the situation. But
yeah, until of course the schools and nurseries close because there's a case like I'm going through at the moment. But yeah, it is much better. Like you say, you've got that balance and flexibility. I sort of do exactly the same as you, Ollie, but I probably start earlier and log off earlier and then pick up probably a bit later, sort of 8, 9, 10, just to tidy things up and to deal with those urgent things that came in at 5:30 type thing. And that flexibility is really, really good. And I think where it's particularly good is that you're not picking up working from home afresh, having been in the office all day. You're literally picking up your desktop as you left it at 4, 4:30, whatever. And it's the time you spend getting back up to speed is minutes rather than 20 minutes to log back in, to reopen all of the documents and stuff.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It is much more efficient. But that being said, there are big aspects of working in the office that I miss. But I could live with going into the office twice a week.
Yeah.
yeah,
That would be ideal for me too, because it's nice to see everybody. It's nice to be able to print and scan and do all that sort of thing. But then being able to have the flexibility as well would be like the ideal situation. So if there was a day where we wanted to work from home, you guys for your kids, or because you want to get something big done, to be able to make that choice would be beneficial, I think.
I guess we'll go back because obviously during September we were doing the Team A and Team B. Presumably we'll go back to that in December, I would have thought.
Yeah, I did like that, because it's like 1 week you can go in and you can go in as much as you want that week, and then 1 week where you're not in at all. The only disadvantage is that there are then some people that you just never see. Like I can't remember the last time I saw you, Ollie, because you're next to me, aren't you, on the plan? So yeah, that's the only disadvantage, I guess.
Yeah, it's true. Unless they flipped it about, but then Richard's got that headache of
I know. I don't think he's going to do that somehow. He said it was like a wedding plan, a meal, like where everyone sits. It sounded like a bit of a nightmare. So yeah,
I don't envy that job. And apparently there was no option of moving the desks about, which I thought made sense, but apparently not. No, I mean it's I like you say, I've enjoyed that flexibility and everything. I am looking forward to getting back into the office a bit more regularly, for sure. And and hopefully doing some more, face-to-face stuff with clients and probably colleagues as well, because obviously we've got the buddy up groups and you can go for. We did actually before lockdown. We did, a couple of us went for some lunch, which was quite nice. So to try and get back to that, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, I do miss seeing it. I mean, this time of year as well, we definitely start to do more like Christmassy events with the firm as a whole, and that I will miss that greatly, because I normally love this time of year. You're out for lunch with clients, or you're having their Christmas parties, and it's just seeing everybody. There's no real buzz in the same way.
Yeah. Our firm Christmas Carol concert, and the department, and at firm level we have our parties, which are big parts of our sort of TSP community, which we will have to try and other ways, which will be successful, I know, but we'll miss things we are used to.
Ice skating this time last year, we were ice skating. I found the picture the other day. I was like, oh I know. One of us was terrible. Was it you, Ollie? was trying
I
to
didn't go last year.
I was pretty terrible. I was definitely on
Yeah.
the terrible list.
There was someone I was like, I thought they'd be really good. I think it was Guy Evans. Sorry, digress. But he was awful.
I'm not the best. I'm not the best. Is that even running this year or not?
Yeah, they've sold tickets for it, but it depends what tier we come out on.
Yeah, well, it's looking like tier 3, isn't it? Because of Swale and Thanet, I would imagine. Which is a bit of a bummer for Tunbridge Wells, because Tunbridge Wells is like the lowest.
I don't know, it's creeping up. As I said, there's lots of cases around here now.
Sevenoaks is very high.
Yeah.
I thought Sevenoaks and Tunbridge Wells were quite low.
We were.
Yeah,
a couple of weeks ago.
When we went into lockdown, it was 98 per 100,000. So we would have still been in the lowest tier.
Mm.
However, it's now at 200.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's almost doubled, which would have originally put us into tier 1. So I think it's going to be quite strict when we come out of this.
We find out tomorrow, don't we?
Oh, God's sake, I've got Father Christmas booked.
Oh no!
We've got a holiday. We originally had a holiday booked on Monday. I started on Monday for 4 days, and obviously we then had to move that. We'd moved that into December. But yeah, I guess if it's tier 3, then technically we shouldn't be going.
It's rubbish, isn't it?
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, I can't help but think that big cities should be in the bigger tiers. Like that's really who they're because they live on top of each other, don't they? Really, but yeah.
I know. It's it's just one of those things, isn't it? I guess. Like,
and it'd be weird if you live like on the verge of a tier. So like this side you're in tier 1, this side you're on like in tier.
Well, Tunbridge Wells probably will be because like Sussex is quite low. Tunbridge Wells is obviously a bit higher, and it's in Kent, so it's probably going to be on the border. So you could technically go from Tunbridge Wells, like Crowborough, or not. You'd probably do that, and then or down to Brighton and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'll go see my family because they're.
Sorry, guys. Do you think we've got enough to go on now?
I reckon.
Yeah.
I don't want to stop our call prematurely because it's lovely speaking to you, but I'm very conscious that Ellen is emailing me, going, call me. I need to see what's going on.
Yeah, no, do I just press dismiss to stop the recording?
Yeah.
Is that all right? Do I just press dismiss?
If you press the stop recording button again, then
you won't get rid of us, but you'll stop the video,